Hotep bakhanyiselwa Thokozani Camagu. Today bakhanyiselwa we are continuing with our long-awaited series. In fact, for those who have been waiting, I think we only posted like one video about on this particular series. It was a foundation phase, really. The mysteries that we are talking about are the mysteries of the woman, right? So from our first video, for those who haven't checked it out, please do. We spoke about the sacred history of the woman and how women are actually the missing link in man's past. It was quite an expanded history because the woman herself expands. And if we were to add the history of the woman in our history, then our knowledge of history would automatically expand. And thus, we would have a better and a much clearer view of exactly where do we come from. The reason why we spoke about the history of the woman is because women really need to be elevated, right? She needs to be put back to her rightful place. She must take her rightful stance as the leader of humanity. We already established that some of the most evolved tribes in this world are female tribes. These are tribes that are dominated by women. In most cases, you find that these tribes are very spiritual tribes. They are heart-centered tribes. So now, in order for the world to go back to its heart center, it's definitely going to need help from the woman. It is only the woman, that female energy, that will really take us back to connecting with the natural world and the higher realms. Women have always been very spiritual, more than men. That is why, like I said, the old tribes were quite strict when it comes to women. Women are energetically governed by more laws than men. Thus, they are biologically governed by more laws than men. As a result, they were traditionally subjected to more laws than men. Consequently, they are destined to become more greater than men. Even now, you find that in many households, the son is subjected to less laws than the daughter, just like how the sun itself is subjected to less laws than the earth and even much lesser laws than the moon. Right? Both of which are regarded as female, the earth and the moon. This now works a bit like the law of muscles. The more weights you lift every day, the more you build your muscles. And the lesser the weight, the lesser the muscle. If you take two children and you subject one of them to more laws than the other, obviously there's going to be differences between the two. One is going to be stronger than the other. One is going to be disciplined and the other one is going to be spoiled. To spoil something is to ruin it, really. Anything that is spoiled is nasty. You don't eat spoiled food, for example. So the fact that women were subjected to more laws than men, this was purposely done to make them even more greater than men, so that they can be governors of men. But it's also true that many women will not believe this because they have been programmed by men and by society as a whole to think that they are lesser than men. They have been programmed to compare themselves to men and to think like men. In fact, they have been programmed to think of men as, the ultimate symbol of power. So they in turn try to shape themselves into men. And we cannot blame them because we live in a male-dominated society, and the only way to survive is to attune themselves to the maleness of this world, such that a lot of females are very masculine in their thinking. right? They have been taught and they have taught themselves to think in straight lines, to think like men. As a result, they've let go of their greater power for the sake of adopting lesser powers. In this way, women are being robbed, and they themselves end up robbing themselves when they choose to turn their whole nature into a strictly male-based nature. In terms of spirituality and initiation, that's where we see this robbery happening at its highest level. And this is its most dire level, like it's most tragic. To see women being taught about spirituality in the same way that men are taught, to see women being initiated in the same way that men are initiated, as if women are not special at all. It's quite insulting. It's insulting to women, spirituality. It's insulting to Mother Nature. It's insulting to initiation. It's an abomination, really. And it just shows us how off balance we've been, as humanity, especially women. Women Bakanyeselwa are on another level, and they are mostly self-taught food, especially when they are complete. Then wow, but there is a lot that a woman can do. And I wouldn't be surprised if most spirit initiates are women. And come to think about it, most people who seem to deny the possibility of being initiated by the spirit are the males. And yes, there are some women who deny it too, but not more than the men, because women are mostly self-taught. Even worse when it comes to spirituality, they go beyond the boundaries. The universe is a female universe, so one can imagine the kind of advantage that women have. That's why, in terms of spirituality, women must be separated and they must be taught differently from the men, because there are many things that women need to be taught that men don't really need to be taught, simply because men don't have what women have. So on top of being governed by more laws, this means that women must be given more teachings that exclusively have to deal with them. Things like physiology, spiritual physiology, for example. Plus, women need their own particular type of reprogramming. Even with males, definitely there's a lot of reprogramming to be done, but this also makes it more important for men to be taught differently than women, because the programming of a man is unlike the programming of a woman. So obviously, the reprogramming process must be done differently. And most definitely, there are teachings that can be taught to both men and women, right? Teachings that are universal to both men and women. But as you go deeper within these teachings, within some of the teachings, there is a point where certain teachings will simply not be relevant for one group or the other. The one exclusive feature that makes women more spiritually greater than men is because women have a womb. The womb is the one thing that elevates women to a higher state. The body of a woman is suitable for spiritual things, actually. The body of a man is suitable for, material things. The body of a woman is so perfect for spirituality, plus its energy counterpart, right? Like the energy body of a woman is designed in such a way that it is in sync with the larger forces of the universe, so much so that man or male initiates often have to duplicate certain features of the female energy body in order to make themselves suitable conduits of the spirit. In other words, in order for men to become better initiates, they must adopt feminine characters. Like being passive and receptive. Men are naturally hard, and as initiates, they must learn how to make themselves soft. At least soft enough to be penetrated by the rays of the spirit. So the womb is the power of the woman. The womb is the most advanced human organ. And yes, people may say, no, it's the brain, it's the heart, but really it's the womb. The womb is the most advanced human organ because the womb creates the heart and the brain. The womb is highly advanced, Bakanyesela. And the womb is the secret of the woman. That is why I say when we teach women exactly like men, we are robbing women of their power. It's really unfair. And yes, we do understand that there are teachings that do apply to both. For example, we all know that we can create things with our minds. Therefore, we can use our brains, although the mind is not really in our brains. We can use our brains to create. We can use our hearts and the combination between the two, the combination between the heart and the brain to create. But women have an extra feature in all of this. They have an extra organ. They have the mind, they have the heart, and they have the womb. They have three sources of creation, whereas men only have two sources, the mind and the heart. Women have the mind, the heart, and the exclusive womb. Therefore, the mind, the heart, and the womb are connected. There are women who are struggling to give birth, not because there's physiologically something wrong with them, right? Like with their bodies, there's nothing wrong with their bodies, but because of some tragic event that happened to them, as a result, they closed their womb. This means that a woman can actually control her womb. She can close it and therefore she can also open it. This also means that the mind and the heart are very much connected to the womb. And indeed, they affect the womb. The thing is that for many years, women have been conditioned into thinking less about themselves. For many years, a woman's role has been minimized to a level of a child barrier and a nurturer of children and men. And we understand this role, but it is their least important function. It is their least important role. For so many years, women have been conditioned into thinking that their womb is only for bearing children. We understand this role and its function to society, but the truth is that giving birth is the least important function of the womb. The womb can create more than just human babies. The thing is that society and men have had a huge impact on our women, and women only see themselves through the eyes of the society and through the eyes of men. Thus, they have an incomplete picture of themselves. Even now, many women will not believe it when I say women are the appropriate leaders of the world. If they were to take over the world, surely the world would be much more beautiful than it is. Men admire beauty, but women know beauty and they know how to make things beautiful. We all know the touch of a woman is different, but some women cannot fathom such an idea. That's when you see that, hey, society has really done a number on these women, hey? But let me tell you this. The day that women rediscover the power of their wombs is the day that things will change, the world will change. Men are easily frightened in the midst of power, and the power of a woman is unlimited. People speak of the third eye, and this is really just the eye of the mind. Women have an extra eye, and this is the eye of the womb. The womb is not alone, right? It has other extra features which are strictly associated with it. This is why women are naturally open. Their bodies are designed in such a way that they are easily affected by spiritual influences, like the lunar cycles and the solar cycles and the planetary cycles. We are all affected by these things. Keep in mind, these energies come to all of us with an equal amount of intensity. But you find that women will be more affected. They will have these bodily symptoms that show themselves physically. It's crazy. But with men, yes, we will feel the energies, but not as much unless you are as open as women are. So Bakanyiselwa, for now, let's end our lesson here. We've come to the end of our lesson for today. We do thank you for joining us. We are actually celebrating Women's Month in South Africa. So happy Women's Month to all the women out there. You know, we love you so much. We wish you all the best that the universe can offer. We ask for forgiveness. We wish you all the best that the universe has to offer. We ask for forgiveness on behalf of every man, woman, and child who has hurt you. We ask that you forgive us as men who are blinded by our own egos and insecurities. On behalf of every man, woman, and child who has hurt you, I would like to offer my sincere apologies. Sithi nxese bogogo, nxese mbokodo, nxese ndlunkulu, nxese ndlovukazi, tsawuwe.